Let's give it a second to start up. For anybody around, we're going to look into the easiest way to create custom Grasshopper assembly file for Rhino. Um, and we'll see who jumps online to see what's going on. I don't really know what exactly I want to make, but judging by my history over here, I've tried pretty much anything. So if we looked at a machine learning gradient descent version, you'll see my initial prompt had an animated script that was working, so I was just used the script as a boilerplate to create something with gradient descent and machine learning. This was an AEC animation script, so I probably did the same thing, create an interesting geometry in C# to script something for the architecture, engineering, and construction micro planning, micro plugin for Grasshopper for Rhino. And I really sometimes specify to just output points and curves and vectors. Sometimes point clouds, vector fields, curves made out of complex trigonometry. So we really could start with anything. So we will go to a new chat, and let's say we wanted to learn on subject for something like, well, I don't want to be too mathematical, that turns people off. Physics is nice. Let's do a little biomimicry. So create a series of C# scripts in Visual Studio 2022 that will create let's say a bio mimicry plugin. Yeah, plugin for Grasshopper and Rhino 3D. Ensure that all outputs are points, vectors, lines, and curves, and text only. I animate the scripts when appropriate. Good luck. Start with 5 scripts in divide the good luck. Best to divide the ribbon toolbar nodes into 5 categories of 5 different nodes, and start with the first one, please. Alright, so that's it. That's my visual prompt to make a very simple fast plugin for using ChatGPT and not having to write the code, but imagining I have a bunch of wonderful C# coders that will do my work. So polytaxis, which is going to be good. This is going to be like a growth of a flower. I could have kind of guessed that would happen. But let's build that first script. Let's name it as it's writing itself out. Very few lines. It probably suggests a few things. So we'll just say take this script to the next level. That will advance it a bit. So we're going to get angle mode, color coding, built-in animated warp factor, spiral reversal. So we get all these nice parameters set in our node. Output our points, our curves, and our metadata. And still a fairly small and simple script which could probably be found on Stack Overflow and copied from so many different forums or tutorials. We'll customize our icon, but in customizing our icon, once this is done writing, we will generate over here a new one, which is just the request for a new 24 by 24 icon for this polytaxis node. It's going to take a little bit to load, so in the meantime, I've got one Visual Studio Code over here with a custom icon script. I'm going to do exactly the same thing over here and start our project, which we actually, it's okay if it gets tucked into Wickerson Studios for me. I've already preset Grasshopper assembly file to Rhino C#. We will call it this, but we probably want to call it biomimicry. Well, let's see if it's smart enough to categorize it in biomimicry. And let's just see what it does. And I'll probably throw it in here, and then polytaxis. We'll cut off the spiral X1, and we'll finish there. So as that's loading up a boilerplate to move our C# script from GPT, and it's actually got a pretty nice image of what it's going to do. We can make that full screen. We can go back over and see if our, that's the icon it's trying to make. But is that 24 by, that doesn't look like it's 24 by 24. Oh, that's weird. Make this into a similar style icon like this one. Alright, so let's see if that won't just give me something that I can pop over to my, I'm not sure why it's making me images now. Did I ask for images? It should be just giving me a download and name polytaxis. But that's the image it's trying to make. But I don't want anything with that high resolution. Let's just give this a minute. Nobody's here watching. I see people bouncing in and out, but pretty simple. It's not for everybody. I've got a lot of free examples of these GHA files at wickersonstudios.com. Why is that taking forever? Just give it a second. Hope I'm not blocking anything with my face in the corner. There's our boilerplate. Just waiting patiently. Sometimes when it's into the analyzing mode, I'll just reset it. Give it a second. I think that'll be good. Moving slow today. There it is. So there's our downloader polytaxis spiral X1. There's a 24 by 24 icon. Now we can go back into our biomimicry script, copy it, and paste it fully in here. We'll have no bugs, which is nice. We can run it as a debug. And we'll see how Grasshopper opens it. We've got our first node of 25 in a micro biomimicry plugin we're writing for ourselves. We're not really sharing code with anybody. We're just sending full GHA assembly files on to people that are interested. And I have been producing more custom icons than I think you get in the vanilla Grasshopper, just because I figured out how to do it and figured out how to do it fast and furiously. So this may be a nice video for people to watch. There's a few steps that are behind the scenes, but nothing you couldn't figure out as easily as I did. Grasshopper will load. And we've got a script that probably you could chase it a few times. Polytaxis, where do you think it is? Oh, it's probably got a nice logo. That's probably it. No, that's Curie Quantum Decay 4. There should be a fuzzy one without an icon. So maybe we've made a biomimicry plugin. There There it is. There's our biomimicry plugin. Biomimicry. So this is our first tab. We're going to have 5 categories of 5. So the polytaxis spiral without icon, there it is. Really nice and very efficiently made. If we want to see that, I've got a preset on opening one of my doubtaging files. This one. It's got a nice Rhino form. And there you go. You've got a count probably of quite a bit, 300. I just want like 122. And there we go. Simple. I've got a scale factor of 1. Got a growth in Z that I could put up to 0.1000. I'm just going off of what's been hard-coded in. The plus of this is in GH-Python and even C#, you sometimes have to set and change your inputs and outputs. Animating is 0, so I think that's just a Boolean toggle. So if I put a Boolean toggle on there, I think we have an animated script. No, that's just putting an animate quality on it. I had to wonder what it wanted, 0 to 1. So we can actually have a range of 0 to 1 for that change. Very nice node. And just before we put our icon, we'll give it its name. We'll go over here, we'll get our metadata out of it, which sometimes are quotes to inspire stuff, but mainly it's just metadata. Really nice to make your own plugins this way. The curves coming out are obviously interpolated from the points in a really nice tree. No, it's just a flat list. It's not a tree pattern. And our points are here. So you can very quickly do things with those points and lines. A very fast-moving script. You can see there's no slowdown on it. A reverse is nice. So we can take a Boolean toggle and we can make that go reverse pattern. Very nice for symmetry. Love it. And it's probably made so many of these. Angle mode is if you want the angles 0 golden, degrees, or radians. Very nice enumerations. So 0 to 2. And we'll just see, we can change that, and then I will probably just take this to pi, and then we'll shoot it over to radians. There we go. And then we'll have a pi factor of 2.00, which allows us to go into a full pi rotation, or then more. So you start to get some really nice patterns. What a beautiful script for those interested. Very nice. As complex as you want to make it. Pretty sweet, lots of metadata, everything you need. I'll take these guys and spread them apart. And now we will just make an icon, because this is our first biomimicry plugin, which probably you've seen done 1,000 times in school without having to learn to code everything. This is a nice breakdown of what it is. I'm going to pull this in here because we're not going to need much of it. And we're going to file, save this document as the polytaxis spiral. We're going to grab the name, and I think we're going to tuck it all in the biomimicry to store it, but this is just for my editing of where things are. But before we bury it, we're going to fix the icon, and I have this script over in doubtaging that has a really nice solution to dealing with bitmaps over images to icons. And the way I change that is I do have to put in another, and I do this on every single thing I do, using system drawing, and I should spell system right, which I'm getting too old to see. System drawing, we're going to go down to the bottom and we're going to paste in that icon information we just cut, and you'll see that this is a workaround of adding a properties tab, adding a resource, finding out where it is because I'd already made it and I put it into my downloads. I'm going to call it from an image. I will find it in my downloads. Polytaxis spiral, I will add it. I now have my resources polytaxis. I'll just stretch this out so you can see what's going on. That's copying just the name, and then back into my script and I can put that in here, but I should have taken my polytaxis here. I should have done this in order and changed it from Dow to Jingda there. Now everything should run as a fully workable release, and I'll get that icon. And I really need to slow down, and I think maybe putting my face on here makes me a little more human as opposed to what I've become, which is mostly just using AI for everything. But when I close this, I'm going to make a folder. I'm going to tuck in this first one of 25, and we're going to build a biomimicry plugin for those that want to get started. And I'm not going to put it on the package manager. I'm not going to put it on Food for Rhino. I'm just going to distribute those GHA files probably for free at wickersonstudios.com. And if you want to see the ones that I have there dealing with theoretical physics and philosophy right now, I'll just type that into the chat. Studios, and I think the first 6 in there I've just put on and made them free if you want to download them as GH files. So what do you do when you have this? You grab yourself your Rhino to check it, always like before you distribute. You'll see that when I open this one, which I had saved, the GH file, it's going to open everything so I don't have to set anything again. I've got biomimicry. There's our first icon, polytaxis spiral. There's all of our awesome playing with it, changing it, growth rate. We can take it from angle mode over to degrees and then over to golden. I guess that's the golden ratio, so now I'm working it into that. This isn't having an effect on it anymore. Degrees aren't going to have an effect. If I do this, then it's just those degrees multiplied. But you're getting a sense of that pattern. And I had a pretty nice pattern here for a while. 10, take it here. That seems a little crazy. I don't need to go that far. Maybe I'll shave this, edit this down to 2 pi. That's about all I need. There you go. And there's your 2 pi ratio. And you can see kind of what you get. And I think, well, you get some really nice patterns. And you can play with this one as much as you want and change it as much as you want. So that's it. Simplifying it, maybe not going all the way around or as many times as I want, animating. Just counting how many rungs I go around and how complicated I make that. Cool. I take that off, put it on. That's just the height. And those are your parts if you really want to have a crazy flower. Alright, so we will file save, snipping tool, new, and we will save this one under the same name. We will go into here, polytaxis, grab the name, copy it, and what I'm going to do now is save it, close it, close it, close it, close it, close it, jump into here, desktop, probably go into GH and make a new folder. Let's make this a little longer. I did not mean to extend that one out. We will, yeah, I didn't mean to close that one either. Let's grab here. Nope, I'm just having trouble grabbing this. Oh, it's over there, that's why. Gotta watch my lines. So let's grab this one over. So we've got all these plugins. We've got this recent one. We're going to do a new one, and we'll call it biomimicry. Biomimicry. We will grab this one and put it into biomimicry. And this is going to be the first of 5. So we're going to do another chapter, folder, section 1, and we'll put that one in there. And then you'll see in section 1 we can jump into the bin, find our release version, net48. We can copy that and we can put that over in our libraries under biomimicry, and we can find out where that goes. And we can send this as section. We just want to put it in there. And we will add a new folder. I'll call that section 1 to match. I don't want to be too confusing, but there we go. That is in Grasshopper. Now that will automatically open every time we go in. And that's it. So continue the next biomimicry node, tendril, spiral, and that's it. We put that in, and you better be ready to go when you hit that. So hopefully you watch that video. It's short. You'll get a sense of what I'm doing. I will follow up with this. Maybe I won't do every one, but as I start running this one, I'll show how I get to the next stage. So Michael Wickerson at Wickerson Studios.